Welcome back, guys, to the TOPI Talk Show, a talk show with a TOPI. I'm your today host, Felix Leonardo Tan, and in today's occasion, I got two guest speakers. You guys are welcome to introduce yourself. Start
Hello,
from
guys.
okay.
My name is Dylan, and today I will be answering some questions and analyzing an article regarding uh, various topics.
Hello guys, I'm Axel. What's up?
What's up?
Okay, so for today's uh, talk show, I got you guys some news or article that you guys have to analyze and answer my question. So my article is from the Washington Post. Uh, Let me send you the link to the article. You guys may read it first. Okay, welcome back, guys. You guys already read it, okay? So, my first question is for Dylan. Dylan, what do you think is the topic, issues, and the reasons the author stated his opinion?
Okay, so from what I read regarding the article that you sent, the topic of the text it's explaining about the unvaccinated Americans that are refusing. Well, they're kind of they're being kind of like rebels for not getting the vaccine, which is basically that, and the author is getting a bit tired of them. While the issue of the unvaccinated population is that uh, they they refuse to get the vaccine because they say that they are more likely to get it if it is FDA approved, because a lot of them speculate regarding the ingredients or the things that are being put in the vaccines. And actually, because of them not getting the vaccine, it's slowing down the efforts to slow down the pandemic. So basically, of course, the cases are rising, and people are still um, opposing against getting the vaccine. And what are the author's reasons for his belief? Well, of course, he sees that they are fooling around. They are not, doing what they're supposed to do as Americans, and basically they're just not following the rules and not following the protocol of the whole nation, basically, and what we should do to end this pandemic quickly.
Okay,
And
so
yeah,
okay, thank you, Dylan. Okay, so the next one, we all know that the article or his opinion is very long. There is so many paragraphs. But is there any conclusion that the author reached about the issues?
well, yes, he he shut down the people that are not getting the vaccine because it is not FDA approved. But now, in the article, he said that the Pfizer and the BioNTech vaccines are now FDA approved, and that more people should be trusting the vaccine more. He also said that more companies will actually demand their workers to get the vaccine in the future in order for them to remain working for the company. But nonetheless, he still made it very, very clear and even summed up the whole article and put it in the last paragraph that he is still very against the people that are not getting the vaccine right now.
Okay, so as we know that the article titled opinion in the first word, what do you think uh, what do you think is the author using? We all know that he's
Okay.
using opinion, but what is the reason? Can you give
Okay.
like an
Yeah.
example?
So of course from the title, it is his opinion. So we're leaning more towards opinion than facts for this article. And basically to support this opinion-based answer, we can see that in the line of it's also an opportunity for us to say to the hardcore vaccine refusers, we're done with you. So his statement regarding the unvaccinated, it's very how do you say it? It's not unprofessional, but it's not really factual. Like it doesn't sound factual. It doesn't look factual at all. And the use of the word "we" shows that the author is using opinion and drifting his own thoughts about being done with the vaccine refusers. But some facts are still included in this article, and well, basically, facts are being built in order to support his opinion on the problem.
Okay, thank you, Dylan, for the answers. Okay, last week we all learned about the writer's stance, tone, bias, and purposes, and why is it important. And we also analyzed news about regarding that topic. So I have a questions for you guys about. Do you think this article have the author's stance, tone, bias, and purposes? Dylan can start first with the stance, author stance.
Okay, so the author stance for this argument, it's very, very clear that, again, he is very opposed to the unvaccinated people. And it is because the people who are not getting the vaccine is still considered freedom, means that taking the chance of infecting other people with a virus that has killed millions, they call it freedom. That doesn't make any sense. That's just purely selfish. And the author stands with the vaccinated that were going to do everything. How do you say this? Yeah. So basically, the acts of the vaccinated and the unvaccinated is very different. The vaccinated people, they try their best to isolate the sick or isolate themselves from getting sick. So basically, they're more protective, they're more caring, and yeah, the overall stance of the writer is towards the vaccinated and opposed to the unvaccinated. And for the tone, bias, and purpose, maybe Axel can answer them.
You're welcome, Axel.
Okay, so for the author's tone, I believe that he is trying to encourage people to say or to take a stance on anti-vaxxers, and I believe this is an appropriate tone, facing the fact that the U.S. has repeatedly gained numbers within infections. So I believe that the author's stance is justified. Secondly, the author's stance shows that he prioritized the needs of the many compared to the few. And also, it's like he's saying that, okay, it's our turn to speak up, to tell them that this needs to stop. And this approach shows that he's tired against the fact of people trying to say no to vaccines. Secondly, the tone. Secondly, the bias. The bias within the author's writing would be how he nitpicks his facts to support his opinion. I think nitpicking of facts could be dangerous. It could create a very, in some way, we could describe it as a two-edged sword. It could hurt others where they stand on anti-vaccines. Meanwhile, it could also hurt the people who are supporting vaccines. The bias can be shown within the article where he says that it's time to treat anti-vaccine people as social pariahs, where we should shun them or we should fight against them for them to be outcast of our society. This could create a huge fight between people who believe in vaccines and who doesn't believe in vaccines. And I think this is a wrong approach towards encouraging people to take vaccines. And finally, the purpose. The purpose of this text would be for the readers to acknowledge that standing up against anti-vaccine people is encouraged by him, as well as we are supposed to, how do you say it? We are supposed to encourage people who are scared to overcome their fears for taking the vaccine.
Okay, thank you, Dylan and Axel, for the answer. So for my last questions is regarding about last week topic. We have already discussed about this topic. It is about critical thinking barriers. So, what do you think, Axel, about the language barriers on this article? Do you find any language barriers?
Okay, so for language barriers, I would say no. I have read this column through, and I don't think people could misunderstand what he's saying. It's pretty clear and straightforward what he's saying and how he showed his purpose of the text.
Okay. The next one is about the fallacy. Do you find any fallacy barriers in the text?
Okay, in my opinion, the fallacy of the text comes with the writer's opinion on how he should or we should treat people who doesn't believe or who is against vaccines. I think this is very unhealthy because he nitpicks, as I said before, he nitpicks his facts to support his claim on why we should treat people that way or why we should shun the people who stand up against vaccine.
Okay, thank you, Axel, for the answers. So for the closing, guys, I need your opinion about agree or disagree with the author's opinion. This is an open question for you both.
Okay, let me start first. For me, honestly, I believe that we should stand up against anti-vaccines. I personally, I have took the vaccine shot for the COVID-19, and I believe it's helping us to gain herd immunity for our country and for the world. What this writer is saying, how we should treat people who are against vaccines, I disagree. We should fight this not on the social level, but on a political level and on a governmental basis. We should create laws and make them a rule for people to take vaccines, not fighting them in a social basis. Because fighting them in a social basis could create groups that could create conditions, honestly. And this is where I disagree with this author. I disagree that we should all take the vaccine. And I believe that it is not the right of freedom for you to not take vaccines unless you can. It is the right for you, also others, for you to protect other people around you to not get infected by the virus. So this is where I disagree.
Okay.
Yes, my answer is very similar to Axel's. I liked it when he said that we shouldn't deal it at a social level, but more on a governmental level or a political level, you can say. I think the Indo government actually wanted to apply this by giving like a
Regulations.
fine.
Oh, like a
No,
fine.
no, no, no. Like a 50 million rupiah fine for the people that didn't want to get the vaccine. I think it was the middle or the start of 2021. I think it was the middle. I forgot. But yeah. Um of course we should not agree with the people that haven't took the vaccine, because me personally, I wanted to take uh the Moderna or the Pfizer and other vaccines when it wasn't available in Indo. But then I realized the importance of just receiving the vaccine on itself. So I took whatever was an option here, and I realized how important it was and how we shouldn't refuse in any sort of way of the vaccine, and that people who are still refusing and people who are still speculating about the vaccine are really, really out of their minds. So, yeah, I fully agree with his idea, his stance, but then his solution or his way to solve this problem should be fixed just a bit.
So from what you guys have stated, I can conclude that you guys disagree on how the writer gives the solutions, but you guys agree about how we should stand up against the unvaccinated. Okay, that's all, guys, for today topic. Thank you for joining this Zoom meeting. TOPI Talk Show, the Fat News signing up. Bye bye.